9. True horror stories of things watching you from the shadows. Story 1. The bedroom mirror. Kara always kept a mirror on the wall opposite her bed. It made the room look bigger, she said. But one night, around 2:47 a.m., she woke up. Certain someone was in her room. She looked around, nothing. But when she glanced at the mirror, she saw a man standing behind her. She turned around instantly. No one. Heart pounding, she looked back into the mirror. Nothing there. But the next night, at the exact same time, he appeared again. Same position. Closer. She smashed the mirror. The following morning, buried the pieces, moved out a week later, and yet, every night at 2:47 a.m., she still wakes up, and now she sees his reflection in her window. Story 2. The eye in the vent. 12-year-old Dylan told his mom something was staring at him from the ceiling vent. She brushed it off as childhood fear, until she caught him standing on his bed, whispering into it. "Who are you talking to?" she asked. Dylan whispered. He said not to tell, or he'll come down. One night, after Dylan screamed in his sleep, she checked the vent herself. She shined a flashlight through it and saw an eye blink back. The man had been living in their attic for weeks, watching, waiting. He vanished before police arrived. To this day, Dylan won't sleep in any room with a vent. Can you blame him? Story 3. The black dog in the woods. David was hiking solo through a thick forest when he got the feeling something was following him. He turned. Nothing. But every few minutes he heard leaves crunching, breathing. Finally, he turned just in time to see a large black dog step out from behind a tree. Its eyes glowed. It didn't bark. It just watched and followed. No matter how fast he ran, the dog never fell behind. Then, as he reached the edge of the woods, it stopped and vanished. Locals told him a black dog had been seen in those woods for over a century, always watching, always silent, always following the ones who never return. Story 4. The hotel room painting. Julia was staying at a small, cheap roadside motel. There was a painting above the bed. An old man with dark eyes. Something about it unnerved her. That night, she dreamt of the man from the painting standing in her room, watching, not moving, just staring. She awoke in a cold sweat and looked at the painting again. The man's eyes had shifted to the left, following her. She reported it. The staff looked at her like she was crazy. Said there was no painting in the room. She went back. The wall was empty. But the man still visits her dreams. And now she wakes up to find scratches along her arms. Story 5. The man in the baby monitor. Angela had her first baby, Emma, and installed a baby monitor with a camera for peace of mind. One night, while doing dishes, she glanced at the monitor. A man's head slowly rose into the frame, peering into the crib. She ran upstairs. Nothing there. Doors locked. Windows shut. She called the cops. They searched everything. No one. No evidence. But every night after that, the monitor clicked on by itself at 3:12 a.m. And every time, the same shadowy face appeared, just for a few seconds. Emma never cried. She just stared back, smiling. Story 6. The watcher in the shed. A couple moved into a countryside home with an old shed out back. They kept it locked, never used it. One day they found the lock broken. Inside they found a chair, a blanket, and photographs of their house, taken from inside. There were notes. She's beautiful when she sleeps. He watches TV at 9. They leave the back door unlocked on Sundays. Whoever had been living there wasn't just hiding. He was watching. Documenting. They sold the house, but the new owners say they still hear someone walking in the shed at night, despite it being nailed shut. Story 7. The closet that breathed. Eli always left his closet slightly open. Superstition mostly, but he started hearing breathing from inside it. Low, slow, rhythmic. Every night. One evening, fed up, he threw the door open and shouted, "I know you're in there!" Nothing. The next morning, there were fingerprints on the inside of the door, long, narrow, and burnt. He moved apartments, new building, new life. But one night, he heard it again, breathing, from the kitchen cabinet. Story 8. The Subway. Claire Natalie rode the late subway home every night. Same time, same seat, same passengers. But one night she noticed a man, pale, still, staring at her from across the train. He never blinked. She looked away. When she looked back, he was closer. No one else seemed to notice him. When she got off the train, she glanced behind her. He was standing on the platform, smiling. She never saw him again. But sometimes, in crowded places, she feels that same cold stare cutting through the noise. And when she turns, there's always someone watching. Story 9. The Thing. Under the bed, Ryan swore he was too old for monster stories. Until the night he dropped his phone off the bed and reached to grab it. His hand brushed something warm, not carpet, not dust, something that moved. He froze, peered under, 2 eyes, wide, hungry, not blinking. He screamed. His parents came running. Nothing was there, but from that night on, every time he leaves his feet hanging off the bed for too long, he wakes up with scratch marks on his ankles. Now that the lights are low and the shadows are longer, let me ask you, have you ever felt watched when you thought you were alone? When the room was still and something just outside your vision made the hairs on your neck stand? They say the scariest things aren't the ones that chase you, they're the ones that watch and wait.